Old school jokes that probably only I get, and he would get. So there's a lot of interesting backstory to this one. Mobius, the day of the tournament, with like just a few hours before the tournament was going to start, he wanted to know what I was going to play in the tournament, and I refused to tell him, but I told him he should join. I told him he should play the Black-White Tokens deck. He said that he built his deck was based on one of my early decks, and then he revised it, of course, and made his changes. And then I told him, and like he sent it to me and told me that he had ground out like the whole game really well with it. So I told him he should play it. And here he is. He played it. He's undefeated. He has a draw, but basically undefeated. And we are squaring off against each other. So if I lose, it is by my own doing, having dragged him into this tournament. And anybody who follows the forums knows that I've been his advocate. So this is interesting, because, yeah, this has got to be it. But we're gonna be bringing the beats. I think we're the beatdown. I think he's the control. He has a lot more planeswalkers, but he doesn't have that much removal. He's gonna try to gum the ground up with noise like that, and I'm gonna try to run him over. And I think, well, let's see what we draw. Gonna make a big difference here. Sure. That's gotta be this guy. So first, let's send this little noisemaker here. And he says, nah. His favorite card in the world. There was once a tournament game a long time ago, him against a fellow named Hail to the King, where he got very, 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 very salty about turn 4 Gideon multiple games in a row. It's a classic. He has a YouTube channel, Mobius does. If you look up his match with Hail to the King from something called the Hakumate, you will see stuff you will not regret watching. And now he has to figure out what to do about Gideon. Gideon is a house. He has Anguish, that's easy. Oh, hey! He's got his own Gideon. That's pretty cool. He's going straight emblem. Yeah, that's a good call. That's a smart play. Now he can swing in there. I can chumpy chumps. Good play by opponent. Mobius with the emblem. Now, when you don't think your Gideon is very likely to live, it's usually the emblem is the way to be. Well, don't we have a conundrum? I definitely want to play you, but the question is, do we swing in with a Caravan? Or do we swing in with a Gideon? I think we make the knight and we swing in with a Caravan. Although that just leaves me like a removal spell away from your doom. So I think I'm just going to go ham for the head, because it's going to force him to take 2 blockers off the board here. And he doesn't have the life total to do it. Like, if he takes this, he's at 1. And his creatures come into play tapped because of Thalia. So, I don't think he can... See, I leave Gideon unprotected at 3 loyalty, but he can't afford to attack Gideon, I don't think. Or else he'll just die on the backswing. It's basically, he's sacrificing blockers to Gideon, so it's like Gideon attacks even if it dies. Even if it goes off the battlefield on his turn. And he's gonna go to 1. Let's see what he can do. What am I missing? Is there anything? Sometimes you just know you're in trouble. Skyship. So, yeah. Won't be enough, though. I mean, that is probably his best line. Yeah, this'll do. So that should be game one. That was a pretty brutal draw on my part, and his draw was a little bit slow. He had no 2-drop. That's a pretty big deal, and it doesn't seem like he had any removal spell that he could leverage. Too much Gideon. Gideon's such a boss. Let's bring him on back in. I'm going to stop looking at the chat as soon as I go live here, but it says, I hate quick celebrity games. You don't get to enjoy them. I hear ya. Mortifor says I was yelling at my kids. What happened? It was a smashing on my part. I brought the pain. So I'm up 1-0 right now. His hand was just a bit slow. Slow hand. How about a 40-minute long game? Do you want me to do that by running the timer and making him yell at the screen? Or I am still playing vehicles after all. Yeah, Gideon isn't about long games. Gideon is about, Actually, he had Gideon on turn 4 after playing a bunch of tokens on turn 3. So I bet if he was on the play, would have been a completely different game, unfortunately. Just, that's luck. That's the way it goes. All right. Let's do this. Yeah, can't complain about that. We don't have any artifacts, but hopefully the vet will help us find them. We are going to be playing from behind, which makes Thalia worse. And no vehicles makes Depala worse. So this could go south, but he's going to 6. He's going to 5. Ooh. Well, that's not good for him. But if we don't draw an artifact, our hand is an overpriced Terminate and some dorks. So we'll see. A Carrier Thrall would be great for him. Ayli's fine. It's a straight up trade with a Motorist, which isn't a big deal. Alright, so we're going to scry. We definitely want to find a vehicle. I would also take a Planeswalker. Pia Kirin is not good. We only have one red source. So I guess Chandra's not good either. Neither of those are what I want. So away with both of you. Draw could go south. It ain't over till it's over. He is on 5 cards. So any kind of card advantage we can generate would be good. Which means we want to take trades that are good trades. Obviously. I definitely want to lead off Thalia. If he has a removal spell, she'll probably suck it out. Okay. This card is not very good in the matchup. Now, obviously, he would have to have a God Draw to have, what's the card called? Collective Effort, ready to go. But that's definitely something he could have. And if he does, Gisela is a piece of junk. That said, we drew her. She's not going to do much sitting in my hand. So we'll probably just spike her and make him have collective effort up his sleeve. Okay. Anything to be gained by sending in Thalia. He could block, 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 which I could then blow up really easily. Is that worth it? If he has the collective effort, though, ooh, ouchie wah. God, that would suck so much. I just, do I have to play into that? I really do want to get you out, get you attacking. That makes this better. I think I just make him have it or draw it. If it's that good, it's that good. In the meantime, let's send in Thalia. If he has it, he might just be able to steal this game. But man, would I like that to be just about any other 4-drop in my deck. No collective effort, no collective effort, no collective effort. That might be collective effort. Oh my god, if he has that. Oh my god. The draw. He did it. Oh, I'm so dead. Oh, that's the best 5 cards ever. And this, it's really funny because Gisela is like the only creature in my deck that is that vulnerable. All the rest of my creatures are just great for that, you know? They get under that spell. But then there's Gisela. Fucking Gisela. Alright. Now we gotta weasel our way out of this mess. We gotta play a card advantage game, which... Oh, that's pretty good. Never mind. Westvale Abbey. Does he have the mana? He does. That's the perfect set of cards. Do I have anything in my deck? Oh, if I had drawn a land, I still could have gotten under the Abbey, but I did not. Nope, that's not what happened at all. Do I have anything in my deck for this? No, I really don't. So I need a mistake. Yep. This isn't going to be that long. This is the end of the world as we know it. His draw is just about as beautiful as they could be. He still needs a land. He needs a land off the top, an untapped land. If he doesn't get it, I can weasel my way through this. How about that 5-card hand, man? Pure perfection. Pure perfection. You gotta love it too. And I had the only draw that could walk right into it with Gisela curved out. Beautiful in its own way. Just beautiful. Yeah, go ham. Okay, so he is not gonna go for the Abbey kill. At least not right now. Lucky me. Okay, so he doesn't sack his token for life, so he has a play. But what could it be? Okay, still could have sacked his token for life. I just can't get under the Abbey, though, if he draws an untapped land. I just can't do it. Alright. So what's the play? I can't get under the Abbey. Making unlicensed pretty unimportant. But it's a good surprise. But at this point, it's not even a surprise. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nah, not quite dead. Well, if he powers up, let's see, if he powers up the vent, I block there, I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's dead. Nothing I could do. Let's see if he sees it. And a grasp off the top. Pretty good. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, nothing I can do about that. Best 5-card hand ever. Bravo. And I really don't think I do anything but what I did. Maybe if I don't play Gisela there, she can turn the game around afterwards, but he was going to either draw into the land for the Abbey, or he was going to have the Grasp of Darkness for the Gisela eventually. So, that's all that it could be. That is all it could be. That was glorious, though, on his part. Let's make him do it again. Abbey is definitely one of the big headaches of this game. If I can't get established on the board before he flips it, there's not much I can do. He never drew the land to flip it there. Wonder if I could have done... Nope. It was just Scrounger. It was a bad removal spell. It was stuck on 4 lands. Yeah, that game had to be that way. I don't think I can mulligan that hand, though. It was just too smooth. It doesn't make sense. All right, game 3. Let's do it. Still on the draw. Slow hand. Way too slow. Okay. We'll have to not flood out. Hopefully Motorist will help with that, and hopefully Sovereign can check his development. Ayli! Hello, Ayli. Ayli's one of the better trades a Motorist could have here. And we want removal. Really? I think... I said that she's so bad, but she's better than a land. And we can protect her with the spirit, so... we'll keep them. Oh Lord. What am I getting myself into? It is a trap, Mort. It is a trap. Does he have Enthusiast on turn 3 for the 3rd game in a row? He has a Ballista. Oh, that's something. Let's see if he wants to take out the Motorist or not. Nope. What's that mean? Well, let's send him in. Okay. Love it. So the line is Sovereign into Thalia and Selfless is hopefully a lot for him to deal with, as he's going to have a really hard time killing Sovereign through a Selfless. But that's where we're going to go with this, and we'll see if he has something like a Gideon to make my day sad. Although I could probably just come over and smash Gideon. And here it comes. Sram go Whitey. And what's the play? It's not collective effort this time. Oh, it's Liliana. Okay, nothing to kill. Nothing to kill. And I'm not going to worry about damaging her. Away with your creatures. But I am sort of the control. I'm way behind on board. Alright, time to review how he kills Sky Sovereigns. Anguished Unmaking. Ouch. That's it. Okie doke. Or Double Grasp, but he's off of that. Anguished or bust. He's going down for his Ayli. There goes an Anguished. Ooh. Oh man. That seems a sign. If he has the other one. Whew! Alright, down comes a Ballista. So... okay. That's good. I was pretty worried there. Alright. So I was wondering... so let's see what we can do here. We can harness lightning the Ballista. And play Gisela. That gives him the collected effort line that I hate. Although, if he had it, would he have played it already? Nah. So, we can't run into that. If I play Thalia, he can sack his Ballista to kill it. Which... but maybe it's better to play Gisela Selfless? Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that is better. Right? And I have the mana for it? Right. But if I play the Selfless... no, I play Gisela first. I crew, I attack, then I play Selfless to protect. That's the line. Because the Ballista can't stop the Gisela. And we're gonna attack Lily because it can kill the Selfless Spirit. Punk out the Ballista. Take out his means of removal. Let's see if he has his second Sram's expertise into a collective effort. I do not deserve life. Then I am truly damned. But even then, Selfless can protect Gisela, which can then help me win a race. All right, there we go. Gisela, can you redeem yourself? You could have Grasp of Darkness for it, but... there's the effort. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, Lord. Oh! Pulls it back. Did he see? Did he spot the hole? The Selfless Spirit? Does he have a way to kill it? Does he have a fatal push? I guess he's not going to do it. He's got to get rid of the Selfless Spirit, and then he can have the collective effort. And he's still at 20. We got a long way to go. Gifted Aetherborn. Alright. Walking Ballista. Criminy. Dude's got it all. He lets me untap, though. Interesting. He's gonna have the collective effort combo. We already know it. Who am I bombing? I'm bombing you. Because now I have to win a race. No point in doing that. He's just going to use the Ballista to chump it and then punk the Spirit. So I may as well leave it back for a block. So now the question is, does he wait till next turn when he could add a counter to the Spirit? He does not. But I am going to get 4 life off Gisela here before he makes a little army. Well, you wanted a good game, you guys. I hope that this qualifies. I feel like I've been ahead, but I feel like I also could have slipped at any moment. He's had a lot of interaction. So I felt like I've had to play it straight. Gisela, did you do enough to redeem yourself? I think so. I still love you, girl. No good attacks. Way behind here. I think I'm running this one down. Okay. I think that's lethal. He might have Fatal Push, but that would be pretty big game. Yeah. All right. Exhale. That was a game, and that was a 3-game match. That was an exciting one. So I take it 2 games, 2-1 over the Great Salt Lord Mobius, and I'll be going into top 8 at 5-0. So I'll have the 1 seed. I'll play somebody who's 3-1. Trying to squeak into that 8. I'm just going to send him some messages here. That game 1 just wasn't very. Game 1 wasn't very competitive. His hand was slow and mine was fast. And game 3 was the Sky Sovereign for sure. Bringing the beats. Bringing the beats. Alright, that brings, at least for me and for most people, I think there might be 2 games outstanding, but that's going to bring the Swiss rounds of the Fight Club to a close. We got through 5 rounds of Aether Revolt, Magic Duels. What do we know about the format? I believe that vehicles are still very good. They've been hitting mixed results, and they're certainly beatable. But obviously, it's just really hard to cope with some of that stuff. I think Caravan is the big forgotten one. I think it's better than Harvester. I really do believe that. Somebody's laughing at me. Are you laughing at my opinion on Cultivator's Caravan? I think that card is pretty nuts. It seems to be the one who gets left out a lot these days. Man, like, demands better than my boy Harvester, question mark? I think so, but that's the way I feel. I mean, Harvester, at least in aggro, like, if you're playing aggressive or even mid-range, if you want to be able to go, okay, well, Harvester is a lot better with any kind of application for the energy, obviously, and it's also better if you're just trying to stabilize against vehicles. If you're trying to get a little bit bigger than other vehicle decks, or if you're trying to play 3 colors, I think you've got to play the Caravan. I think that, I mean, you saw turn 4 Sky Sovereign. That's a bit of a problem. Mobius is saying that he believes he could have beaten any non-Sky Sovereign Chandra draw game 3. I think he's right. Oh my god. So Mobius is telling me he top decked that Sram's expertise when I played that turn 4 Gisela. Just some more messages back and forth. Mobius hopes that the crowd had fun. So, hope you guys had fun as well. It's been a really good tournament, and now, of course, the top 8 will begin next week, and we'll see if we can break the curse. I've only lost 1 match in, I think this is my 4th tournament. It's either my 4th or my 5th, and I've only lost 1 match in all of the tournaments combined in Swiss, but I've never won one. I've always lost in the top 8 at some point. I've lost in the finals, I've lost in the semis, I've lost in the quarters. I've never won one of the tournaments, although I've only lost 1 match total. And I think 6 or 7, it's either 6 or 7 games total in Swiss. So usually this is where my luck runs out. This is where I usually run right into the brick wall. Will it be different this time? We shall see. We shall see. regardless, it's still a lot of fun to play, and it's still a lot of fun to have the matches. Alrighty. Hallelujah for March Madness, as we're about to get the seedings and set up for the upsets and all the other fun stuff that's going to go on. I'm sorry, guys. No more gameplay tonight. I'm going to go hang out with my wife, and besides, after that, it's hard for me to follow it up with anything. I think this format, like, just some quick format opinions, if you like those, you can play just about any deck and get to rank 40, but as far as what the best decks are, I've only got 3 that I even like playing right now, that I feel like are still hard to work out. Black-Green and Mardu and Izzet. The Izzet is the control, this is the mid-range, and this is the aggro, and that's about all there is to it. Now, like I said, you can play just about any color combination and win a certain amount of games, especially on Xbox, but once you run into these kind of things, it looks like a problem. Michigan, yes. Be rooting for Big Ten. Michigan is having a very good March Madness. But this is the stuff. This is the stuff I like for the Black-Green. I don't like Winding Constrictor. I think it just focuses your deck too much on doing one thing when there's so many just kind of good Black-Green things to do. And I'm off Delirium. I'm not doing Delirium. I'm just focusing on good cards at good casting costs, walking up the curve, and smashing opponents. So that's what I'm up to with my Black-Green. If anybody cares about that, this is a quick speed through that deck. And it pounds the crap out of vehicles typically. Usually vehicles can't do much if you have a hand with a good 2-drop, especially Gifted Aetherborn, a Fatal Push, a Grasp of Darkness, a Reclamation Sage, of which there's the full 3, and this is where Aethersphere Harvester is better than Caravan for sure. And then of course you get to the top rope and you Kalitas them and you Sky Sovereign them and you Bellow on, and you're just great. Everything's great there. This is if I were to register my vehicle deck again, this is probably what I would play. I don't think you can go really fast with vehicles, but I don't think that's the best way to go. I think running cards like Inventor's Apprentice and Bowmat Courier can get you into some trouble. So I like this version. It has a ton of value and a ton of power. And it's very similar to what I'm playing with a few big changes. Gisela dies to just about every removal in the format, so she had to go. And so did Sram's expertise, as I didn't have a great way to take advantage of them in their place. We just sub in a few good old cards. I really like the Walking Ballista's Selfless Spirit and Abbot of Carol Keep for more value, more pilots. And I think this deck is really just awesome. I think it's great. 22 lands you're going to flood out. That's hilarious. But we do have 2 Caravans. We do have 3 Motorists and 2 Abbots of Carol Keep and 2 Smugglers Copters to get a little deeper into the deck to keep from coming up short on lands. And like any aggro deck that goes up to 5, we only want exactly 5 sources. We really don't ever want more. So I think it's just fine. It's also very light on the black sources. We don't run swamps and evolving wilds and things like that. I think there's only 8 black sources, but you can just discard the unlicensed when you don't need it. I love the Abbot because I love the way it plays with what's the card I'm trying to think of? The Veteran Motorist. I just absolutely love it. Hey Vert, you're here too late, man. Do you want to be spoiled? Because somebody can give you the scoreboard, but the match is over. I'm just making this video a little longer and talking about the decks I still play. Yep, Neon's on it. So then blue-red, I think this is a really good control deck. The thing I hate the most is the Disperse, but I also love it. I mean, it's such a ridiculous card, but it has such a good place against vehicles, as if you can cast it early on a vehicle, you often delay their vehicle for 3 turns because they have to play something early, and then they have to play something after, and they have to play something late. D-Man, are you running a very low land count because of the free shuffle? Nope, nothing to do with that. The free shuffle, that would be a fallacy because, yeah, it doesn't. It's not like an extra land. I'm running a low land count because I think I can succeed with it based on the curve and the other contents of the deck. I don't think I have to hit turn 4 land drop on time to be successful running a vehicle deck. Anyway, what I love about the blue-red deck is that instead of playing creatures like Baral and Thing in the Ice, I'm running card draw, so I don't have to worry about Fatal Push or Unlicensed Disintegration making my life worse. And, yep, then we just Dynavolt Tower things and Brutally Expel things. And I also love Disperse with Torrential Gearhulk. It's really gross. Not using Torrential Gearhulk to flashback the Disperse, using the Disperse on the Torrential Gearhulk after I cast the Gearhulk to play it over and over, especially in response to removal that the opponent left up. And Vert has the opinion that Take Inventory blows. I have developed a contrary opinion, at least for this deck. I think in general, in a vacuum, it absolutely blows. But I think for this deck, it's pretty good. I'd rather make their removal spells, which double as burn spells for Unlicensed Disintegration. I'd rather make those dead cards and get deeper into my deck to the cards that I need to win the game, like Tower, like the Planeswalkers. Anyway, those are the decks I still play. Everything else has become a bit stale to me or is underpowered to me. And if you have a strong disagreement with that I'm missing something, you should let me know so I can try to work on it and see if you can change my mind and if I can change my mind, because otherwise I'm kind of out of stuff to play. This format I've certainly played it into the ground, and as usual, with about a month left in the format, I'm getting pretty tired. It's just the way it is. Vert telling Ninja that if you're drawing at sorcery speed, you're not going. Well, that's a way to look at it. And it's not wrong. Although I guess you could say go at, what about draw, go? How about that? Would you like that? Gave up on Teamer, question mark. Yeah, I gave up on my Team Urge deck. It has some good matchups, but it has some very poor matchups. Well-played vehicles are pretty devastating to it, in my experience. And that's kind of a non-starter. I really don't want to play decks that well-played vehicles, like good piloted vehicles, absolutely smash. It seems like that's contrarian to me trying to play it as best I can. Draw a little more, go. Yeah, that's what it is, Vert. But hey, go ain't what it used to be. So maybe draw a little more, go is an upgrade. You never know anymore. Some of those things are basically relics at this point. They're legends. They're going in the Hall of Fame. They're Mick Foley's. They pull out the occasional Sacco for a good laugh, but otherwise they're just kind of sad to watch waddle around and try to spit fire like they used to. Avocado, did you guys see the supposed spoiler of Amonkhet? No. Spoiler like the whole set or a couple cards? What does the Mythic spoiler say? Mythic spoiler Modern Masters, you say? Nah, let's check the Amonkhet. Oh, I see some land, and I see some weird sideways card. WTF, Dusk and Dawn. Destroy all creatures with power greater or equal to 3. And Aftermath. Cast a spell only from your graveyard, then exile it. And that is Dawn. Which is return all creature cards with power less than equal to 2 from your graveyard to your hand. That's weird. What a weird card. Is that good? So the Dawn part, which is return all creature cards with power less than or equal to 2 from your graveyard to your hand, is white 3. And the Dusk part is just destroy all creatures with power greater or equal to 3, is 2 white. I don't think this is good. Maybe I'm crazy. I mean, I guess you play it in your white weenie deck, and if they cast something larger, you kill it, but you pay 4 mana for that. And then if you want to later, you pay 5 mana. So it's like a very conditional removal spell. I don't know. This card is weird. Let me try to think of something ridiculous. Like the very best case scenario, I think, is you have a bunch of small creatures and you cast it and you blow up their big creature. Maybe 2 if you're lucky. And then on their turn, they blow up all your small creatures, and then you rebuy it and get your small creatures back in your hand. But I don't think that's good. I just don't. And this is weird. This is the problem. This is the real problem, especially for duels where we're never going to get anything banned or restricted or rotated. This card does nothing about vehicles. Nothing for them, nothing against them. It has no impact whatsoever on vehicles or planeswalkers, which are the 2 card types that, quote, count, unquote, in duels. So I think this is bad. There might be, it's definitely a niche card. It's definitely not a downright power, can't wait to play this, gonna be the best day of my life type thing, I don't think. Nah. There is some, let's see. Vert has an idea of cathartic dumping off your little dudes, and then a turn 5 kill. It returns the creatures to your hand, not to the battlefield. Is that something we're missing? If it returned them to the battlefield, it would be tight. Like then there's probably something very exploitable. But as it is, it's a new kind of flashback, like Avocado says. And it's only good for value, because it returns them to your hand, not the battlefield. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Vert. This card's not good. And if this is actually rare, yeah, it's rare. Like, this is going to be their rares. There's probably a cycle of these, and maybe one of them will turn out to be good, but this is not inspiring, and it's not going to do jack shit while there's vehicles in the format, so. That's the sadness. Now, if this were around for Origins, people would love returning their Jace Vryn's Prodigies to their hand. Broken, right there. That's broken, but we do not live in that world anymore. It's not actually broken. It's still sorcery speed. If you could play it, if it was an instant, this would be fun. And I don't think it would be broken as an instant, but it would be playable. If this were an instant, it could take out Smuggler's Copters, it could be played on end step, and you could do the Dawn Aftermath effect and cast that on end step after leaving mana up to do other things if you needed to. If it were an instant, it wouldn't be broken, but it would at least be good. It would be all right. Martyr of Sands, infinite life combos off this thing. Well, not infinite because it exiles, but just really annoying life combos. I feel ya on that, Vert. Well, that was some good Magic talk, but I'm burnt out on the playing of the Magic, so I'm gonna log on out of here. I've definitely filled enough time, and thanks for watching. I will see you guys in top 8. Will this be the time, or will I fall yet again on my face in the top 8? See you later. Thanks for following. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here.